When you do what you love, it never feels like work. Let's talk about why that's the worst advice anyone can give you. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I'm Cyrus, and I'm here to improve the streaming experience not only for you, but also for your viewers. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, as well as ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss content like this. Also, check me out on Twitch. I stream 3 days a week. Would love for you to be a part of chat, maybe come play a couple games. Also, join the Darkness Discord. The link for that is in the description below. We'd love for you to come be a part of that community and come ask questions and see how we can help you grow your community. And with that out of the way, let's talk about why this old advice that we hear a lot from people is the worst thing that you can hear, especially as a content creator. So before we get into this, I actually want to read, and I'll put it up on the screen, this quote. And the quote is actually from Steve Jobs. It states, "If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you." Now, it might seem like that quote has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it'll make sense as we continue forward in this. And what I want to state before we go into the rest of this is I need you to understand that that advice that someone gives you of that it doesn't feel like work is still advice, and people are pouring into your lives, and don't kind of push people away for hearing that. But what I want to tell you is that just because it feels like work does not mean that you're not going to enjoy the things that you create. And sometimes things definitely feel stressful, or if you're trying to do something, or how does that work? So let's unpack that a little bit. So this video is kind of different. Normally I talk about how to improve your stream, as well as like what it looks like on the screen, how you can engage your audience off of it, different kind of things with alerts, etc. But what I want you to come across to you in this video is that the best resource possible in any of your streams, anything you can do for your growth as a content creator, is you. It's not the things that you put on your screen. It's not the emotes. It's not any of that. It's you. And when you step back and think of that, and you think of the best streamers that are on the gig right now and streaming, as well as any of the other platforms, you don't go back to that stream just for the content. You go for the person. And maybe that's not 100% of the time, but the truth is we might go to that person to see like great clips, or they're funny, or whatever the case, but you get hooked on their personality, or what they do, or how they do it, what's unique to them, and what they've brought to the table as being a content creator, and their ideas. And what they've brought to the table is what brings you back. It's not usually the things that you see on the screen, but rather what they've done. And so I want to stress that from the beginning. The best resource for you as a content creator is nothing that money can buy. It's you. So let's unpack these. We're going to go through a few questions, and I'm going to tell you about my process and how I've got through here, and talked about how I can improve myself as me being a resource, and how you can do that as well. So I'm going to go through a series of questions, and I want you to kind of answer these while I'm kind of talking about them, and really think about it. I'll put them up on the screen for each of them. Question number 1. Have you achieved your goals? And along with that can come with the same question of, have you even set goals? What are goals? And that might be a dumb question, but what are goals of content creators? Some people look at like goals, follow goals. I want these number of videos. I want this much outreach. I want to make this much money. And it looks different for everyone, especially because of the whatever social media you choose. But I do YouTube and Twitch, and I do a little bit of Twitter. Go check me out over there. But what we're going to do is talk about what are the goals that are pretty easy to set early on. So I'll tell you about mine for this year and how that connected. So at the end of 2020, my goal for this YouTube channel, Darkened Cyrus YouTube channel, was to be at 750 subscribers. That was my goal that I set at the beginning of 2020 back in January on my Trello board. By the way, go check that out. It's a great organization tool. And it's kind of blown out of the water. Not only am I at 1,800 subscribers, but I'm also monetized, and I'm going to get my first payout within the first month of being on the platform on YouTube. And it blows my mind. Like, guys, thank you so much for your support. It's crazy. So when it comes to your goals, sometimes you smash them out of the water, or you might not meet them at all. And in my case with Twitch, I'm not meeting them. My goal was to be averaging 10 viewers by the end of 2020, and I'm averaging about 7 or 8, which is fantastic. And I can't still, again, even 7 to 8 viewers is wonderful for me, and having that community surround me. But, I didn't meet that goal. Does that mean that I have to stop doing Twitch and break that down? No. So will you achieve all of your goals, and will you always meet them? No. But have you set them so you have something to aim for? Yes. What I recommend is setting some short-term ones and long-term ones. So I like to set a 6-month, a 1 year, a 2 year, and then a 5 year. And that 5 year seems ambitious, but you got to start thinking about where you're going so that you can point yourself in that direction. And this quote by Steve Jobs says, if you're working on something you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you, and that 5 year goal most likely will change so much. Mine has. And so as this channel has grown, and as my vision has grown for what we're going to be doing here and helping you guys, is that I've steered myself more towards this mentor aspect and helping you guys improve your stream. That I was originally doing gaming stuff, and I still game obviously, but my content's not centered around that right now. All right, question number 2. Do I still have other things that I would like to accomplish? Definitely. But I don't have to accomplish them right now. And I don't mean that in a procrastinating sense. I mean that as when it comes to being a content creator, there's so many things that surround that idea of you must learn SEO, business, you must learn finances, you must learn how to reach your audience, how to do social media integration. Do you have a Discord? Do you have an Instagram? Do you have a Twitter? And all of these things stack on top of each other that you get this overload of what is content creation at some point. So what I want to stress to you is that don't be that person that tries to do it all, and you do it all horribly. Do 1 or 2 things and focus on them heavily so that you can improve what you're doing. And when it comes to those things early on, do I have other things to accomplish? Always. But you plan it out. Let your goals guide you through what that looks like. Your 2-year goal might be to start an Instagram, or maybe start a second YouTube channel. Make sure you set those goals and really think about, how am I going to set those up to accomplish the things that I would like? Question number 3, is there a clear path? The answer to this is definitely no. Content creation is such a brand new kind of career path. I don't really know how to phrase it, but I guess career path is the way to go. But it's so clear that everyone's gotten into the business in a different direction. But the one bit of advice I can give you is, the more you educate yourself, the closer you're going to be to understanding, especially how these platforms work. So just posting content and hoping to make it without understanding how these platforms work, it's probably going to net you not a lot of growth. So make sure you also take that time to invest in yourself, not only with education, but in the opportunity of growing with your craft. Next question, will there always be self-doubt? Yes, there will always be self-doubt. You will always question whether you've done something right, whether you created the right content. Was this video right? Was this post right? Was my stream okay? Did I reach my community in the right way? Did I pick the right fundraiser, the right charity? Did I post enough? Do I not post enough? Do I post way too many things that are retweeted? Or I post unoriginal content? Do I post original content? These are all things that you're always going to question yourself because you want to improve. And if you're not asking those questions, you're not going to be self-reflecting upon the things that you're doing to improve. So make sure you always think, how can I be a person that is thinking 2 steps ahead? I post something, looking at the analytics of that. That's also very important. Did it receive well? Why didn't it receive well? And try to improve upon that in a way that's constructive and positive, and not something that's negative. Don't always look at bad engagement on social media as that you're bad. Look at bad engagement as a learning position that you can improve on. And sometimes some things just don't click, but that's okay. And that ties into the next question. Will I always find ways to improve myself? And me personally, yes. I'm actually a teacher. I've been teaching for 10 years publicly in a high school. I do high school music. That's my kind of day job, but I've also been teaching just private lessons music for the last 13 years. And will I always find ways to improve myself? Yes, especially as a musician, there's always things that I can always improve upon. But when it comes to content creation, I feel like every video or every stream or every time I interact with someone, especially in an assistance manner, I always trying to find a way of approaching the situation in a different way to make it better. Trying something new that's innovative or just whatever the case. And it might flop. And there are so many times that I'll try something new, whether it's like new tech or new emotes or new content, and I not get the response I'm looking for, or it doesn't work. And you just have to roll with it and just accept that sometimes things just don't go your way, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that your channel's gonna tank or move on from that. So always take them with stride, and always take time to think about, what does self-improvement look like? Should I go find a Udemy class? Should I go find a streamer book? Anything like that that's going to help me. Ashley Christ actually has a book. I'll link her channel up here. Go check that book out, and maybe that'll be a good resource for you. And last question, and this is probably the most important question that most content creators ask themselves early on, as well as most of the time throughout their career. Will I ever be successful? And I think the problem with asking that question leads, like the first question, to so many others. What is success? How do you measure it? And if you are successful, how do you know it? And the best way I can answer this for you is success is what you deem as growth and goals met. And some people would see success as a number. I hit 1 million subs, I'm a successful YouTuber. I hit Twitch partner, I'm a successful Twitch streamer. I get my verified checkmark on Twitter, I'm a successful social media connoisseur, or whatever the case. But the truth is, you can have a checkmark on Twitter and have a horrible community, or not even a community at all, and you just post things. You can have Twitch partner and still stream to 5 people, 3 people, 0 people, and still not be able to make a livable income. You could have 1 million subscribers on YouTube and still not get views. And so success, I don't think, needs to be so tied to numbers that we do today. Sure, our goals are tied to that, but what does success look like? That's not something I can answer for you, but what I can answer for you is, don't measure success in so much of the analytics. Measure success in how you view yourself and the growth and the path that you're currently on. You can be successful when you're first learning how to ride a bike, the moment that somebody is able to take those training wheels off and let you go. And I'm sure that many of you as young children were able to do that, and it felt awesome. Imagine what that feels like on social media when you put out your first comment or your first post or video or your first stream, and you get some reactions that you're looking for. That's success. Not making a whole bunch of money, not reaching this plateau of ability that you're setting for yourself. Success is what you deem it to be. So don't overthink it. Take some time back up. Really enjoy the process of growing. I want to read this last little part. I actually posed all of these questions to my mods to kind of get their input on it in Discord, but I want to read the last little part of this segment that I had, and I'll actually put it up on the screen as I go through here. In the end, none of these questions matter. What matters is the impact that you've made in the world, not how many views or members you have, but how much you've poured into someone's life. When we stop valuing how we treat each other, we start to lose all sense of self. Connections become a necessity out of greed, not empathy or sympathy. And when we stop valuing ourselves, to begin to see the world as less than what it is. When we stop valuing ourselves, we begin to see the world as less than what it is. Our self-worth is removed when doubts and worries take over our thoughts. When it comes to your future, what is your vision? Are you going to let it pull you? Are you going to miss your opportunity? Are you going to put things of this world in front of what your goals are? That's my message to you today. Guys, I'm not going to do a huge outro. If you enjoy it, make sure you hit me up on content, and I'll catch you next time. You are important and you are successful right now. And just know that. We'll see you next time.